has rituals of initiation. So that's different. It's in a different category. There's all kinds of groups you can join. You can join your alumni association out of your university, or all kinds of things you can join. But when it comes to Freemasonry, there is an aura of power, of secrecy, of secret knowledge, and of spiritual changes that will take place during the initiations. And I think this is what sets Freemasonry and the occult secret societies in general apart from all the others, because there is a process that is taking place with your membership. You don't just simply join and pay your dues and get the newsletter, and have a dinner once a month or something. This is something a bit more involved that requires a lot more of you, a lot more investment of your psyche. So this is the thing that I'm wondering about. This is what I don't fully understand about Freemasonry and its attraction for people. Yes, they want to belong, but why do they have to belong to a society that is secret and that uses ritualistic initiation? I'm not against any of this stuff. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand it. I'm not denigrating it. There's a place for initiation. I've written a lot of books about it. There's a place for initiation, for spiritual processes, even for secrecy, especially in a time when our privacy is being invaded so constantly. So I can understand all of those things, but what is it about Freemasonry? Why do people feel drawn to this? What is happening to them in a good lodge, in a lodge that really works the rituals? What is taking place in their heart, in their soul, in their mind? How is it changing them? And this is what I would like to know. This is what I would like to discover. And it's one of the things that's closed because it's very difficult to find people who will talk about it.
Exactly. Well, the question is, can you understand it from the outside, or do you need to join to understand? And if you do so, can you protect yourself from the initiation process? I mean, I have personally no interest at all in going into this organization. I don't know if you have, but let's say that one would have the interest in doing that. Can you protect yourself in any way with another ritual on top of this, so to speak, to not be affected by it? That might be the intention of the initiation.
Well, as Groucho Marx once famously said, I wouldn't want to join any organization that would have me as a member. So, no, I'm not interested in joining Freemasonry. But that's catch-22, isn't it? I mean,
yeah.
In order to find out about Freemasonry, really, you would have to join it. And protecting yourself against the ritual seems to be counterproductive. You would have to experience the ritual to know what it was, to know what it was about. So it's a problem, and it's a problem that everyone has with Freemasonry who write about it. If you are a Freemason, you are bound by your oath not to reveal certain things. There's no way out. If you're not a Freemason, then you don't know those things you're not supposed to reveal. So it's catch-22. How can you write about Freemasonry? And I struggle with that in my own book. And I say you can learn about it through the rituals that have been printed many times, published many times. You can learn about it through the actions of their members. You can try to build a picture of it that way. And that's what I've tried to do in Secret Temple. Try to understand Freemasonry through its rituals, through its history. Try to understand the effect it has. Is it necessarily an evil organization, or is it just a spiritual organization that we don't understand?
Those the rituals that have been leaked, so to speak, through various publications and books throughout the year, do you think that they are correct, or could that be a diversion as well? What do you think?
Based on my own conversations with Freemasons, active Freemasons, those three basic rituals are pretty much identical. I mean, they are the ones that they use.
Mm. Well, it's very, very interesting, and I mean, ultimately, again, you mentioned this idea that you struggle with this question, but again, to kind of just dovetail a little bit back on this, and we can begin to round things up on that note, Peter. But what do you think is the goal then is of this organization? Is just to grow and expand, or is there another purpose that's being served through this organization for whatever means? We hear about the term, for instance, that you're being you're being shaped from the rough ashlar to the polished stone, so to speak, and to me that's another way of an analogy of being fit into the brick wall, so to speak. They're building something with you, in that sense.
A Pink Floyd reference.
Well, exactly, yeah. But I see it as that actually in one way, and I don't know if that's correct or not. But I see that they're trying to build Solomon's temple with the aid of you. And do you think that that's the case, or is there something else going on here?
Well, I mean, you've brought up so many some heavily laden symbolic references that I'm now struggling with the picture. Uh, I've got Pink Floyd and the Wall on one hand, and I have Solomon's Temple on the other, and you know, it's causing this sort of cortical fission taking place in my brain. Yeah, I mean, yes, they are building Solomon's Temple. I mean, the secret temple is Solomon's Temple. After Solomon's Temple was destroyed, Jewish mystics try to create the temple symbolically through their mystical practices. And I believe that Freemasonry is part of that tradition of building a spiritual temple, building a temple, you might say, in the ether or on the astral plane, a temple that will withstand anyone's attempt to destroy it. So as a Freemason, I believe you are part of the temple. You are a member, a brick in the wall, and you're building that temple. And I think that all Freemasons are, in a way, building that temple. They're polishing their stone. They're becoming a perfect stone. And you ask yourself, why would anyone want to be a perfect stone?
Yeah.
I mean, why would you aspire to that? Of course, it's a metaphor for rounding out the edges, the rough edges of your personality, perhaps, or something. But there's also the implication, as you point out, that you're designed to be fit somewhere. And perhaps that's what Freemasonry is about. It's building a new temple. It's building the spiritual temple in which every member is one stone. And then you ask yourself, is that a noble aspiration for an individual? And that, I think, is something that people have to answer for themselves. As I say, I wouldn't join. I haven't joined any organizations of that nature at all. But and I have a resistance against it, because I don't know what will be demanded of me in return. This is something that's always there, that's always sitting out. I don't want to keep anyone's secrets that way, not secrets in my field. If I'm writing about Freemasonry, I don't want to know like the ultimate secret and realize everything I've written is crap, and now I have to go back, and rewrite it, and I can't rewrite it. I'm not allowed to rewrite it. I'm not allowed to correct my misconceptions. That would bother me. So I would rather not know.
Well, good point, Peter. And again, the book is called The Secret Temple, Masons, Mysteries, and the Founding of America. Do check it out through Amazon or Barnes & Noble. And again, Peter's website, sinisterforces.info. Thank you very much for coming back, Peter. It's been very interesting having you back on. Are you currently working on something new, or are you taking a little break from your last book here?
Well, I'm involved in a couple of projects now. We'll see what happens. One is on Tantra, from Asian perspectives on Tantra, with a lot of photographs, and a number of different projects I'm working on right now.
Okay, keep up the great work, Peter, and thank you again so much for coming on the program.
Oh, thank you very much. I had a great time.
That's our 2 hours with Peter Lavenda. Thank you for joining us here in the member section and for your support of Red Ice.